Severe hailstorm batters Paris in May 2025. Flash floods, disrupted events, and citywide chaos. In a dramatic turn of weather, Paris was struck by an intense and sudden hailstorm in early May 2025, catching residents and visitors off guard and leaving a trail of disruption across the capital. The storm, which brought pounding rain, large hailstones, and fierce thunder and lightning, turned the City of Light into a scene of chaos rarely witnessed in recent history. The storm began with ominous dark clouds gathering over the city during the early afternoon. By mid-afternoon, heavy rainfall transitioned into a deluge of hail, with stones the size of golf balls pelting rooftops, streets, and vehicles. Within minutes, Parisian boulevards turned into rivers, while sidewalks and staircases became cascading waterfalls. The sudden influx of water overwhelmed the city's drainage systems, leading to flash flooding in many neighborhoods, particularly in the northern and western districts. One of the most vivid and widely publicized incidents occurred at the Auteuil Hippodrome, a major horse racing venue in the city. During the 3:07 p.m. race, as jockeys prepared to guide their horses around the track, a violent hailstorm struck with full force. Spectators watched in disbelief as hailstones rained down on the riders and animals. Jockeys, including well-known British rider James Reveley, were forced to dismount and sprint for shelter, shielding their heads from the relentless barrage. Live television footage captured the mayhem, with commentators audibly gasping as visibility dropped and the storm intensified. The race was immediately abandoned, and the event stood as a symbol of the storm's unexpected violence. Elsewhere across Paris, transportation systems suffered major setbacks. Several metro stations flooded, leading to temporary closures and rerouted service. Commuters trudged through knee-deep water in some areas, while others remained stranded as buses and taxis struggled to navigate submerged streets. Iconic landmarks such as the Eiffel Tower were not spared, with a lightning bolt striking the top of the monument. Fortunately, no structural damage was reported, though the scene served as a dramatic reminder of nature's power. Reports from the eastern suburbs told of rooftops set ablaze by lightning strikes. Emergency services responded to multiple calls about fires sparked by electrical surges, even as they simultaneously dealt with flooded roads, blocked drains, and panicked residents. The ring roads around Paris, normally clogged with commuter traffic, became parking lots as drivers sought to escape the storm, but were met with stalled vehicles and impassable sections of highway. The storm's impact was not limited to Paris itself. In the Loire Valley, thousands of scouts attending a large outdoor gathering were caught in the downpour near the historic Château de Chambord. Organizers rushed to move the children into the castle for safety. Some exhibited signs of hypothermia due to the sudden temperature drop and soaking clothes. Though no serious injuries were reported, the scene of young scouts huddled in the grand halls of the castle provided a surreal contrast to the storm raging outside. In Normandy, tragedy struck as a woman in her 60s was swept away by floodwaters in the city of Rouen. Danger such storms pose. Meanwhile, operations at Paris's Orly and Charles de Gaulle airports were disrupted, with numerous flight delays and cancellations reported as pilots and ground crews waited for safer weather conditions. Meteorological agency Météo France had issued an orange alert before the storm hit, warning of possible hail, torrential rain, and localized flooding. While many heeded the warnings, the sheer intensity and speed of the storm's arrival left little time for effective preparation. In some districts, rainfall reached nearly 60 millimeters in just half an hour, with hail piling up to 2 centimeters thick in some locations. Climatologists and local officials are pointing to this event as part of a troubling trend. May in Paris typically sees average temperatures around 18 degrees Celsius and moderate rainfall spread across the month. However, this event marked a dramatic departure from the norm, suggesting a rise in extreme weather incidents, possibly linked to climate change. In the aftermath, cleanup crews worked tirelessly to remove debris, drain flooded underpasses, and restore services. Authorities have urged residents to remain alert in the coming weeks, with more storms forecast. The city's response has raised questions about the preparedness of urban infrastructure to handle increasingly severe weather events. As Parisians return to their routines, the memory of the May 2025 hailstorm will linger. From waterlogged metro tunnels and damaged rooftops to the sight of jockeys fleeing hailstones on live TV, the storm served as both a spectacle and a warning, reminding a modern metropolis that even in the 21st century, nature can still bring it to a halt in moments. Would you like a version of this in a different tone, such as emotional, dramatic, or simplified for younger readers?